I think fundamentally, over the last 20 years, we have we have been experiencing the greatest epical shift for civilization since the age of the Enlightenment, which was which was also known as the age of certainty, kind of a reductionist, mechanistic understanding of our physical universe. Uh, with the advent of the internet, um, the phenomenon of social networking, and all of the aspects that we've witnessed over the last 20 years, whether you call this now the information age or the age of uncertainty, as Joshua Ramo would refer to it, its effect has been profound. And in fact, because we are within the system ourselves, it's very hard for us to understand the societal, political, economic, social impact that this shift for civilization has incurred and continues to incur on us. Just as the age of enlightenment eventually resulted in the industrial age, it's hard to understand where we're going civilizationally with the impact of the continued impact of the internet. I think the value of the Military Cyber Professionals Association is that it intends to create a community of interest in which we gain a better understanding not only of our place within this new strategic environment, if you will, but have a better understanding of its limitations, and in fact, really the uncontrollable essence of it. I see cyberspace, truthfully, as an inherently uncontrollable media, and therefore, it's an environment in which we can seek to gain influence and understanding, if not explanation, and certainly not control. I think the phenomenon that was created by WikiLeaks and follow-on exposures, if you will, underscore the fact that cyberspace is, as I said, inherently uncontrollable. And in fact, what it has brought with it is the awareness that we need to be able to operate not just as a military, not just as a nation, but as a people. We need to be able to operate more in an environment of transparency. And I think that brings strengths as much as it does vulnerabilities. Those are all things that we can gain a greater appreciation for by developing a community that understands all of the nonlinearities of social and behavioral feedback mechanisms that arise in cyberspace, and will then allow us to shape our own future rather than simply being affected by it. So I think there's great value in this. I think it extends beyond just professional applications of the community of interest. One thing I feel very strongly about is that we need to reinvigorate our and reconfigure our education system in the United States. We've fallen hopelessly behind in many areas of science and mathematics, as well as all of the social disciplines. And this gives us an opportunity to take a community of professional military members who are very focused on the science behind cyberspace, as well as its impact on our cultural, social, and behavioral applications of it. So I think it's valuable in having a core of cyber professionals who can influence young Americans positively, eliminate some of the fear associated in all of the aspects of cyberspace, not just a a fear of having to learn some very, very complex systems, but the fear that many people associate with cyber security or cyber control. Those are all things that we are going to have to learn much more about. We're going to have to understand better our place as a nation and as a people in the global scheme of things, and be able to leverage the advantages of the cyber world to our advantage, and moreover to our broader understanding of where we are in a completely expanded strategic environment. What we are understanding better now, largely through tools that were empowered through computer science over the last 40 years, that deal with nonlinear systems and emergent behavior, is that increasingly we are focusing on behavior as opposed to structure. So it's kind of a non atomistic approach, a non-reductionist approach, understanding that complex systems emerge, whether they're biological or social or chemical, whatever form they take. Behavior emerges in the boundary area, if you will, between order and chaos, and in fact, nonlinear systems result in chaotic behavior, which is deterministic, but it's non-repeating, and it's heavily initial condition sensitive. And what we are trying to develop here are the networks that contribute through nonlinear feedback mechanisms to emergent behavior. And as I said, this is true in biological systems and social systems and organizations and cultures. Cyber is a media that contributes to that emergent behavior, and being able to have an association, if you will, that recognizes the complex interdependencies of these systems and is comfortable working in that environment is going to be absolutely critical, not only to our nation's future security, but to our prosperity in the greater global order. So I think, again, this is another aspect of the Cyber Professionals Association, that we are able to fill a gap that exists right now as it emerges, and as we play a role in that emergence globally.